So this game was fun. This is against a team that's really good, and it's with that guy Alex, who always scores with me. So you kind of know what's going to come from this, but the team's really good. They finished first overall, and every game against them is a challenge in a good way, and we'll see what kind of goes through here. So if you're buying hockey equipment and you want to support the channel, check out the links in the description. In the US, check out the links to Pure Hockey. In Canada, check out the links to Hockey Supremacy. If you click those links and make a purchase, I get a kickback from the sale. So anything that comes back from that comes right back into the channel, so I can make more content and doing like real reviews and stuff. I got buy gear to do a lot of the tests for it, so that costs money and it would be greatly appreciated. Otherwise, if you want to support the channel without buying anything, check out the links in the description to Patreon, buy me a coffee. Everything through there comes again back into the channel, so I can make more content and doing real reviews.
Y'all
ready for this?
Ball, ball, ball.
So I mentioned Alex at the beginning, and although this was an Alex, this guy also scores me a lot. And I played against him in different leagues too, and he always gets a goal. So that's always great and fun. This was a case of I almost played this well. He's coming with a ton of speed. He dances my D. And you can see the look on my D's face after he looked pretty disappointed in himself. But I like followed him and I didn't overcommit, I thought, but I went paddle down to try to cover 5-hole once he kind of cut across, and doing so lowers my blocker. And I noticed once he like kind of transitioned to, okay, he can't shoot there anymore, I try to raise it and he just gets it over my blocker. So frustrating in that sense, in a case where if I didn't go paddle down, my blocker might have been up and ready for it. Based on how he was playing and how fast he was moving, I didn't think I could cover my 5-hole. So kind of go to that paddle down in terms of trying to get that like covered up. And unfortunately that overcorrection leads to probably a goal. But this guy had a lot of speed, he has a lot of talent. I honestly feel even if I had my blocker up there, he's putting it around it or doing something different. So those are always tough ones against guys like this. The second goal went off my D's foot. So like I played this like how I would always play this play. The guy who's scored the first one is good enough that he can shoot from there, that I have to cover his shot off. Like maybe I shouldn't have been quite as tight for that post, but I can generally reach for that far post if he shoots it there. I generally have that in that position because he's kind of on a tough angle. And I figured it was going to be a pass based on who was in front and kind of where the danger was. But once he let it go, I legitimately thought it was kind of a shot, and it just hits my D skate. Like the guy who he was passed to was way too high. So I don't know if he was aiming. I don't think he was aiming for that. I think it just kind of happened to hit him, because my D kind of skates from behind the net and stuff. So I think it was just really unlucky overall in that sense. There's not a whole lot you can do with that. So the third goal is against a guy who shoots a lot and he scores a bunch too. He basically ran through me in the last game at like the end of the game, where I was kind of like, what are you doing? He gets a hard shot off here. I can't squeeze it all the way. It gets like up here and it just kind of plops out. But the thing you can't see here is I actually made another save here. I stop it, it's loose, he shoots, I stick out my paddle, and it actually gets my paddle, and I stop the second shot, and then he gets the third one in. So in one case, in one hand, it's like disappointing that it was a rebound to begin with and it went in. But at the same time, I did make 2 saves on this play, and they got the third one in. So it's kind of like, okay, yes, obviously you want those rebounds and everything, but sometimes you can't always get them. And this guy, like I mentioned, had a hard shot and the cannon just made it go boom, boom, and kind of pop out, and it is what it is. I don't know what to say about this one. I tried to just punch this out as far as I could, and it didn't go out. It went straight up. Then my team just kind of looks around for it and just like, oh, where's it going? When the guy knocks this down, he kind of like bats it to where he could instantly shoot it right away. And I thought he was. And so I dropped for that, and he didn't. He kicked it to himself in a pretty nice play, and then just pulls it backwards, and then I'm way out of position, and honestly my D's just kind of like floating with him. And I guess they didn't know I was out of position for this, but he just shot it past me reaching, and I was just out of it. Like I bit on that first move because I like seeing that play. When someone bats it down like that out of the air, usually they're going to take a shot right away, and he didn't, so he made a really nice play there. And now this goal is super frustrating because of what you saw went in on it. And generally speaking, I will give refs the benefit of the doubt. And in this case, I'm kind of going to lean on that too. I was pretty upset with this, and I kind of went up to it. Like I didn't yell or anything, but I went like, how do you call that in? He just jammed my pad in. But based on where this ref is, far side of the ice, the guy is basically the opposite side jamming at my pads. He probably can't see the boot of my pad. He can probably only see like the top of my pad. My pad, the angle is just like he's over here, my boot's down here. There's no way he sees that boot. And so maybe he thought it was loose or something, or maybe he thought I wasn't against the post. Obviously, if there's any replays, this can't count. This is one of those cases where like these can never count for goalie interference. If a goalie's pad is sitting there completely, and the only way to get the puck past the goalie's pad is to jam the pad, pushing it in, you can't do that. So that's exactly what happened here, and I had that totally sealed. I knew it was totally sealed. I knew he had no chance of getting that through me, and all he did was jam my pad out of the way and go in, and it's disappointing. I wish this ref, like, he knows who this player is, and this player does a lot of stupid things to people, like throw body checks, elbows, accidentally crash the goalie, stuff like that. I wish he kind of knew who he was, and then when the whole team's like, how do you call that? And when I say, how do you call that? Because these refs know me, I play a lot. They should know like my attitude and everything, and if I'm saying like, man, you can't call that a goal, you should be listening to that, because I don't get angry, I don't go crazy crazy and stuff like that. It's only when it shouldn't be a goal. So it's rough. But I mean, he's in a rough spot, and maybe his other guy could have saw what he did at the other end, but he's literally in their zone when the puck goes in, so it's like kind of tough. But it's disappointing, and that's about it. The game was okay. Like, we didn't really deserve to be in it all that much, I don't think. We had a lot of zone time in our end. I thought I played pretty good, but they got like one crap goal that shouldn't have gone in, and then the other goal was off my teammate, so that makes it like closer. But this is a tough team, and I guess for us, especially for like us missing D, because we had a couple forwards kind of playing back too, makes it like a decent result. Disappointing in the loss, but like overall decent for how good this team is. And like, I enjoy the shots, I enjoy the work against this team, so it wasn't that bad overall.
You're watching HockeyReviews.ca.